Let's start with Causeway, a movie that I think you saw at TIFF, and you told me,
Yeah.
do not waste money on this. Wait till it is at home. It is now on Apple TV Plus. In case none of you have caught it, it is a new rated R indie drama coming from A24, starring Jennifer Lawrence, who practically said, "I apologize for passengers." This past week, she came out and said, "Look, I took way too many big movie roles, and I think it's gotten to a point where people just didn't want to see me in things, and I kind of lost my way." And this is her going back, trying to figure out a way to become the big actress that she was. I think a lot of people knew her from Winter's Bone, leading into that Oscar uh, buzz that movie had, and then just becoming the massive Hunger Games, X-Men. Like, what I can't even remember, what did she not take during that period of time? Had
Mhm.
a baby, disappeared. This is her first movie from her production company. I have it written here. It's called Excellent
Excellent
Cadaver.
cadaver.
And the name comes from the Sicilian mafia term for a hit on a major celebrity. So she's got
Hmm.
a lot of, I don't know, whatever she was doing, before making her big return. Um, a lot of it is being put into production. I always like seeing actors come back to be able to, harness the power that they can bring into a production, especially with being a producer. A fun fact about her production company: the animated logo at the beginning is Don Hertzfeldt.
I was gonna bring this up. I'm glad you did.
That's fire, bro. I
Yeah,
thought that was
it's
really
good.
cool. So yeah, if she's able to get creatives together, that's really the most important part about a production company. You can have a bad production company, a good production company, or a production company that's just made for an actor's ego. And so far, I mean, it's the only movie she's got. But I will say, with it being a very simple story of a vet who comes back home, who is still suffering from a lot of the pain and PTSD, they're just trying to fit in. I liked it, bro. I know they're completely different movies, but I feel like the energy you were getting from showing up, completely different movies, but that slow pace, I got here.
Yeah, I mean, I've been somewhat surprised to see just about universally positive reactions to this one, given how restrained and kind of quiet the movie is. To
Yes.
me, there's like, it's just not that deep in terms of what it's getting into, but I think it's really well portrayed, and I don't know, like maybe I'm being a little bit too I don't know, harsh on the depiction of the, like you said, PTSD and trauma, but I will give it to Jennifer Lawrence and Brian Tyree Henry, who are both extremely good in these roles. I think Brian Tyree
Very good.
Henry in particular, really given more to work with here than he is in most films, is able to like really bring so much pathos and hurt to his role,
Hmm.
and it's the kind of part that I think is deepened by giving it to a guy like him. So I don't know. I am giving a lot of the credit for this movie to those performances, and uh, maybe I'm overlooking what's going on with the story a little, because I've seen a lot of positive reactions, but I found it to be a little light in the end. I
Yeah.
don't think this is one that I'm going to be thinking about months from now.
And that's fair. It's not one of those where I'm going to try to argue to change your opinion because I see exactly where you're coming from when you saw it. Very simple. It just worked for me a little bit more than I was expecting it to. But I think it's because I like her in those somber roles. That's why I had my whole
Yeah,
intro be like her perspective going into this was she was done with the big Hollywood machine. She was tired of it. And that's something we're going to end up bringing up in a little bit about another big actress. But seeing her be able to get back into the indie space, I really enjoyed it. These are the types of
yeah,
roles I want to see her in more, and it really
I
worked for
agree
me.
100%.
And yeah, I would give this one.
When
I'd
I
say, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say when I caught it at TIFF, I it reminded me of her part in Winter's Bone, which is like still
Exactly.
probably my favorite performance
Yeah,
of hers.
because of that, it just edges it and go to the theater again as like a junior price, a very early matinee, $5 Tuesdays. But if anything, it's at home, and I don't think there's a better way to catch it than on Apple TV Plus. I don't think you would recommend people to leave the house. I think you're recommending people to
No,
stay at home. Stay at
yeah, I
home.
mean it's perfectly worthwhile as like a streaming pick. I didn't think it was bad by any means, so
Yeah.
hopefully you respond more positively than I did. But yeah, I don't think you need
Sweet.
to rush out to the theater for this one.
All right. Causeway on Apple TV Plus.